Now, hi everyone. Can they hear me? Hi, good morning, everyone. Should I proceed to go now?
Yes, please. Yes.
All right. So I'm so excited to be here in your midst this morning. My name is Buchi, Michelle Okonicha, and I am a software engineer. I'm also a good developer expert for the web, and I'll be taking us on a slightly different from what was from what you saw there, which is web AI. um Building a custom visual notes. So I'll be taking us on something that is very interesting, and it is Gemini Code Assist. So basically what we are going to be doing is today is to be building an enhanced no build working on our development workflow with Gemini. But in this case, not just Gemini Code Assist. I want to inquire. I'm sure there are a lot of people here, like developers, designers, and DevOps, and cloud engineers, and all of that. So, is there anybody here that's used or currently uses GitHub Copilot? I can't see raise of hands, but I want to imagine that a few persons here have used GitHub Copilot, and I have, and I've used GitHub Copilot first of all, because what we're trying to look at today is similar, very similar to GitHub Copilot. There's this question that always comes up with developers, like are AI. So basically, as developers, AI AI assisted developments, they are efficient really. They help you. They help faster work. They have better flows. They help improve productivity, and they help with what's the name of this thing? They help with efficiency really. But the core thing I want to is just a matter of deliberation. Do you think that with these AI tools, your ability to solve problems, or your improved ability in this case, is the fact that the more you solve problems, the more you become a better problem solver. Your improved ability to solve problems increases, number one. Do you think that it makes you a better developer? Now, those are the points that I want you to have in mind as we go through this session. I will share my screen now, and we'll proceed from there. Okay. Hey, great. Okay. So great. I'm not going to go to slideshow, considering that I would switch off from here our code to our code lab. My name is Buchi. I already said that. And our topic, what we'll be looking at today, is something very exciting, and I know that it's going to be very useful for every single person sitting here, especially except if you're not. Every single techie sitting here. Now, for this particular session, what we'll be able to achieve is effective software development, and then I'll be explaining what Gemini Code Assist is. The next thing I'll be doing is to talk about the software development lifecycle with Gemini Code Assist. Now, the software development lifecycle for developers, we know what the software development lifecycle is. Moving from different phases and processes of your development process, from different stages of your development process, from your design to your development to your testing. I know that I'm sure that if I had asked, people would have forgotten testing, because let's say like 60 more than 50% of developers skip tests, except if it's a composite thing. But if it's just you building applications, you skip tests, because of course everybody's trying to do things like sharp and just quickly rush up. I mean, it's working. But for this session, we'll be going through designing our application, the architecture of our application. The design here means designing your database and your API. Then the next thing would now be going through the development of our application. Then we'll also go through the testing our application if we have built it correctly. And then the next thing will now be us deploying it. The other aspects of software development, like scaling and operations, but for this session, we're just dealing with this first four, which are the major, of course, the major 4 stages of your software development lifecycle: design, development, testing, and deployment. 4. Then we also go through the code lab session. Yes, and very exciting as well. Like I mentioned, if you use GitHub Copilot, this would be familiar, but this is totally free. It's totally free, and you can also use it on your VS Code. For this session, I'm going to be using Google Cloud. So first, the requirements. First of all, you have to have a Google Cloud account. I'm sure that if most of us that attended and build with AI, we already have Google Cloud account, because most, like Vertex AI, most of the things we did, we use Google Cloud. So you remember the tokens, the free this thing you got doing build AI, regardless whether you got it, whether you didn't get it, this is free, but you have to have a Google Cloud account. And then I'm also going to show you how to get it on your VS Code. It's an extension, but I'll show you how to use it on VS Code. But for now, I'm going to be focusing on the cloud. That's building it via the cloud. So these are the things we want to achieve for this session. If time, I forgot to ask my moderators how many minutes I have. I hope it's up to 40-50 minutes, hopefully. So I'm just saying, I don't know. But hopefully, if we have like 40-50 minutes, we should be able to cover some aspects of this. So we'll be designing an API. We'll be refactoring our code. We'll be integrating with Firestore. I might not integrate Firestore because it's sort of a longer process and we don't have such luxury of time. But I'll explain what it is. Then I'll also show you how Gemini Code Assist helps you to understand your development process. It helps you to understand what it's building for you. And so you're not just copying and pasting verbatim, except if you want to. Then I'll also build a full-blown, like I'll show you how to also generate a full-fledged web application with Gemini Code Assist. Then we'll go through our test case generation, test-driven deployments, and then lastly, deploying our Google Cloud deploying our code. So remember that I told you that it helps you to go through, like basically it can help you to deploy your code helps you deploy the code. Now, the idea of Google Gemini Code Assist is to ensure effective software development, better productivity, and faster coding. It makes it faster, more effective, and more productive. The time that you're supposed to use to build, like, let me say, for instance, now an application is supposed to take you like 2 months. You can basically use a week to build it with Gemini Code Assist. Best part of it is you don't really need to know the language. It's exciting because at some point, even non-developers will be able to build applications with code. Like, right now, what we currently have is that people that are non-developers, they are like non-coding tools, non-code tools like Flutterflow, Wix. There are a lot of them that you can build applications, but you don't need to code. But with time, with advancements in technology, even with code, non-developers maybe just need to have like a little understanding of technology. Even let me say you're not even a mobile developer, for instance, you want to build a mobile app, you'll still be able to do it because of tools like Gemini Code Assist. So it's really vast, it's elaborate, and it's exciting. So the software development lifecycle, I already mentioned: design, build, test, deploy, operate, and scale. Now these are the things that we'll be able to do with our Gemini Code Assist. Gemini Code Assist is Google's AI assisted coding tool that allows developers to build more effectively and be more productive. Now we're getting started. This is our software development lifecycle. So let's begin. I need to emphasize on this. So I'm just getting started now. Please, I would copy this link. No, sorry. So I want everybody to follow me. I love that everybody is able to follow me in this process. So please, I'm going to paste this in our chat. Please, Winner or Good, is it Good Joe? Sorry. Please, could you help me to send this to everybody in the audience, please, or in your group chats or however, like, so that we can all follow together. All right. See. Now I'm done here. If you're able to scan the QR code, fine. I doubt because it's going to be very far from you. So just copy the link and paste your Chrome browser and let's start. All right. Now to begin this session, you need a Chrome browser, a Gmail account, a cloud project, and a Gemini. That's all, just basic things, basically. Now, I want to assume that we all have Google Cloud. If you don't have, it's simple, just open one, very simple, with your Google account, Gmail account, simple. Then you set up Gemini Code Assist. Now, that's what I'm going to be doing now. I'm going to show everybody how to set up Gemini Code Assist. Um, so from here, this is our code lab. So you can follow the code lab, or you can also, like, after the session, you do it on your own. So I clicked on the IDE. So IDE.cloud is Google's on cloud IDE. That's like their integrated development environment. That's Google's cloud IDE. So first of all, you have to go there to this IDE. You can see mine is running. That's how yours. If you're anybody that's following me in this code lab, please just ensure that everything that mine is showing is also showing on yours. So after we've installed the IDE, this for this particular project, we're going to be building with a Flask framework. Flask is a framework of Python. So that's what we'll be using for this session. Still loading. So I'll just give it some time to finish loading. It's taking some time though. I don't know if it's the network. But I think I'll just have to proceed because of the time. I need it to come up. Okay, great. We're in now. It's coming up. All right. So I hope everybody can see my screen. First thing, I have to log in. So apart from logging in, you see the side that says sign in. So I have to sign in first. I have to authorize. So it has been authorized. Okay. So this is my Google Cloud. Sorry, my Gemini Code Assist. We're on now. Now, remember that I said that your Gemini Code Assist can help you to build a full-blown project, and it enhances your development process from design. So we're getting started with design part. Now, the next phase of this process is to set up your Firestore. But we're going to skip Firestore. Now, Firestore is a serverless document database. The way you have your normal databases, that's what Firestore is a serverless, like a cloud run database storage system that you can use to, like, store your data, create data, input data, send data and information to just your normal database. That's what Firestore is. But please, if you're doing it on your own, you should definitely use Firestore, like, to run your database. But I'm going to skip it for now and go to the next thing, which is to create the application template. Now, to create the application template, we'll just go back to this place. Everybody, if you're here already, if you're following me, I would be very excited to have that. So I clicked on this project. It's supposed to normally show me a project. So I click on new application. I click on Google Cloud Run application, basic cloud. this and that, this and that. I click on Flask one. I told you that I want us to use a Flask application for this project. Then say GDG Umuahia. This is definitely a lot of names. Name is a lot of name for a code code folder, but we use it like that. I just want to have it stored in that format. All right. So it's still loading, but basically when it's done, it helps us to create a. We told it to create a file Flask. So this is how it's going to look when it's done. It to create a Flask framework. The way you say React, create React, and everything in the React project. It will do your npm run, your React create React app run, all this kind of stuff. It will do everything. That's what it did here. That's, that's what it did here. Okay, it's not yet up, but that's what it's doing. It's trying to run from there. So the next thing would be to now our Gemini code assist. I'm not sure why it's taking a lot of time to load. I don't know if it's network, but it's sure taking time to load. It doesn't take this much time. Might be my network or something that's having issues. So this is the Gemini. I need it to load so that I can show you. Okay, great. It has loaded now. So this is my Flask. It created the framework itself, like and everything in the framework. I created the framework, sorry, and everything in the framework. So I have to log in to my Google Cloud. Remember, I said you have to have a Google Cloud account, not necessarily with money in it. You don't have to have money in it. So it's logging me in. Then I start. Now this is how my Gemini Code Assist looks. It's an extension on VS Code. So this is it. We go to our next. Now we want to design our API. Before you can do anything serious with Gemini Code Assist, you need to have prompts. A prompt is basically sentences, a sentence or sentences with keywords. Like they have keywords that you are trying to, things that you're trying to achieve, they come in as keywords. So I want a prompt. Let me say I'm trying to create an application for conferences that users are able to like input data, find their categories, the category of conference, category of guest, and I want to design the application from scratch, including designing the API. I'll I would put in my keywords into my prompts and send it. Although for this session we have already pre-written prompts like this one, and I'll copy it. I'll just copy it and then I'll go to my Google Cloud and I'll paste it there. So now this prompt says generate an open API spec that will allow me to retrieve all data, all sessions, sessions by category, sessions by ID. Each session has the following attributes: ID, title, list of speakers, list of categories, summary, and duration. All right. So when I send it, as you can see, it says Gemini Code Assist is working. So this is my application. This is, sorry, what it has created. And then I don't have a page for this thing. Like, so I have to create a page for it. So I just create sessions. So it has created, I've created my page. So what I'll do now is this. One very interesting thing about Gemini Code, I don't have to copy this code and come and paste it here. There are different arrows here, and I'll explain each of them to you as we go. Now this first one is copy, like we all know. Now this second one is insert. So as you can see, I'm just hovering around it, but it's showing me what is going to happen when I click on it. It's showing me that by the time I click on it, all the code in that insert box is going to come to my sessions API.yaml, which is exactly what I want. So I don't need to copy and paste. I just click on the button and then it pastes it for me. And then, as you can see in this code, this is a full-blown um, database design slash API architecture. This is an open API. It shows you how to retrieve data, shows you the different sessions, the different tables and rows in this place. And good thing again is that, for instance, now it knows that name. It knows that for a conference database that will have a name, the name is not going to be an integer. The name is going to be a string, and it does that. It knows that let me say the number, for instance, or ID is surely going to be an int, and it does that. It also understands that category and the rest of them are arrays of objects, and it helps you to create all of that. Remember that it is AI, like it is artificial intelligence, which is intelligence, human intelligence that has been fed into machines by via data. Now it understands a lot of all these things and is able to create your database, your APIs, and design your APIs correctly. Now that is one side done. The next thing is this we'll be looking at is this. We want to generate a Python application. Now this is the next prompt. We'll still copy it and then we'll go back here and then click it here and press enter. So it's still loading. All right, great. Now remember that we already created a Python Flags application, and my Python Flags application has an app.py. Now because I've told Gemini to help me to create a Python application using the Flags framework, now I need to exchange whatever it's inside here with what I have. So I just highlight it. I don't have to come and copy and paste. That same button, that same plus button, I click on it. So what it does is that it replaces my previous code with my current. That's what it did. By highlighting it replaces my previous code with my current code. So let me say that I'm new to Python. Like I'm writing code, so but I don't really know how to understand Python language. I don't even know what's going on here. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is like what's going on here? I can click on any line and ask for an explanation. So let me say I want to understand this last line. I say, what is the meaning of if underscore underscore name underscore equals to name blah 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 app.run debug true? What does it mean? So you can see this yellow icon here, this yellow stuff here. I click on it. You can see that it has like various options like transform code, generate code, explain this, and generate unit tests. I want you to explain because I want to understand. I don't want to just be copying code and be going. I want to understand every single line. I click on explain. By the time I click on explain, Gemini Code Assist starts to work. And then it gives me a breakdown of what that line is about. See it. He explains it to me line by line, like everything that this particular line is about. I didn't need to copy it and paste. Now, the next thing again, let's say that normally my application already comes with default ports. But me now, I want to change my ports to port 8080. So what am I going to do? The same thing, I'll just tell Gemini that, okay, I want this particular code to run on port 8080. So I just paste it. And my prompts, remember that we're using prompts. Prompts is just what you tell your application or AI and tools to do based on keywords that you have provided. So this is what it does. It only edits the number 46, which is where my route is actually placed, number 46. So now it has helped me to edit my route from the initial route to port 8080. So I can just highlight it and then I copy. Sorry. I don't even need to copy the whole code, basically. Okay. All right, so I can just highlight it and paste it. So now I have my new ports pasted here. Another thing again that I'm able to do is that with Gemini Code Assist, I can also refactor my code. Let's say that, I don't really like the way the code is looking. I can just say, can I improve this code and separate the sessions data from this app.py? So basically, my app.py, I currently have my sessions data in it, as you can see. I have my sessions data in it, but I want to separate it. Like, I want it to be separate from it. I just tell it, give it a prompt, and it helps me. It helps me to do all of that by importing my sessions, anyway, the sessions from the app.py, as you can see, right? So, like I explained earlier, the Firestore is your database. So, if we were to use this Firestore, we will just store data in the database, and then now they want to use it. We don't need to start doing any integration. We just tell Google Gemini code that says, "Oh, give me that prompt. Can you refactor my sessions.py code to read from a Firestore database, and then you click the prompt, and then you enter it, and then you proceed. In this place also, we get to ask questions like, oh, which Python package needs to be installed, this and that, what do we need to do, pipe install this, like everything. You can do all your warnings, like actually you can do like every single thing, like run your deals for you in the code. I remember I already showed you that there's that yellow lightish thing that can show you how to explain code, that explains the code to you, and you can also refactor your code if your code is unimproved. So I don't need to paste my code. Let me say that I'm not impressed with this particular page. Huh? I'm not impressed with this particular page. He even used my name in this place. He used my name, Introduction to Cloud Computing. Okay, so let's say that I'm not impressed with this particular page and I want to change something. I don't need to start saying copy all this code and paste it. No, I just need to say that for this current page, he understands current, he understands previous, he understands past. He also understands the names of the pages, the files rather. I can just say that for this current page, oh, I want this to be there, this other thing to be there, this other thing to be there, and then it does it for you. Gives you the permission to decide whether you want to change it or you don't want to change it. Now, the next thing is that with this Gemini Code Assist, we're able to build a full-fledged application, like a full-blown application, whether it's HTML and CSS, whatever it is that you want to do. You're able to do it with Gemini Code Assist. So, like this place now is saying that let CSS and JS embed all JavaScript and CSS code into. So this is just a prompt. This prompt is saying that okay, inside my HTML file, put my JavaScript and my CSS, put everything, join them together, and it does it here for you. You can also reroute, change your route, change whatever it is that you want to change in your application. Then this one says, given that I am using the Flask framework, where should I put the index.html? It tells you like every single thing. So you don't really need to even know. If I want to build an application in Python, I don't really need to know how to build Python, like write Python. Although I might need to be a developer before I can even understand core concepts and even use the code properly. But you don't need to even know. You can just be a developer and then you want to build a certain application. Even if it's Go, C Sharp, whatever it is. I'm able to just tell it. Like now, this one is asking that okay, in this particular platform, where should I put the index of HTML? Remember that Gemini Code is able to read your code, your structure, your folder, able to read it, so it knows exactly where your a particular page should be if your page is actually necessary. So this is like a very simple one that was created here. All right. So another very interesting thing about Gemini Code Assist is the fact that okay, another very interesting thing about Gemini Code Assist is the fact that um you can use it to write test cases. I know that a lot of developers like we don't like to write text. Does it work? Yes. As far as it works, I push. Like most people, that's like how we operate, right? We just want to build, write applications, write code and push, write code and push. We don't really want to write tests for it. However, this is making it way easier. First of all, I have a page and I say, okay, Gemini, create a page, a test for, let me say, transport.py. And because I've done it before and my application failed, it got failed three and passed only one. Now, what you can do now is this. Say, I want my application to pass all the tests because that's the idea. So I tell Gemini Code Assist to help me to rewrite my application. That's the file that failed the test. You help me to rewrite that application file to pass the test. So basically, it just matches it up with the test case that you have created with it. And it's able to help you to modify your code, to refactor your code, to clean it up as much as you need it cleaned up. Now, test-driven deployment. For test-driven deployment, still very similar to what we explained. You tell it that, okay, we'll generate a new test case to search for sessions by speakers. You come here, the same thing, and then you paste it. And by the time it's done, it gives you the code that you need. So this particular one, now I want to show you something when it's done loading. Now, so basically, I don't have a test file. I don't have a test file, but I need a test file. And I'm tired of going to this place to create files all the time. There's this icon here. Can you see it? Now for this one, I just created a test sessions API file. There's this line that says open in a file. So what it does is I create a new file. It doesn't name it because it doesn't want to be too objective. Like it allows you to, it creates the file for the test, and then you are the one that will come back here and edit the name to your taste. It creates the file for your test, and you come back here to edit it to your taste. I'm dropping this. Okay. Okay, so that's it really. Like, so it does that, and you don't really need to go through the process of trying to create a page again and do all of that kind of stuff again. And like I already explained earlier, if I wanted to explain this line to me, I'll tell it to explain this line. If I wanted to explain this line, I'll tell it to explain that line. Now, another thing that Gemini Code Assist can help you to do is to deploy to your for now it's still Google Cloud, because of course this is Google's product. So they've been able to factor it and build it in a way that it's connected to your Google Cloud. So you can push your code to Google Cloud directly, as in you don't even need to do all the running this thing. You just need to still write same prompts, like still keep writing prompts. That's just the idea. You ask it question. If you're confused about a particular line, you ask it that, oh, line 46, you don't have to copy and paste to just say line 46 of the current page. What does it say? It explains to you. And good thing again is that it even understands languages. So regardless of the language you're using, whether it's Flutter that, whether it's Python, whether it's JavaScript, you understand the language. Like it has seen that, okay, this is a JavaScript project. And whatever it's creating it based on the language. Like this one says, I would like to deploy the application to Cloud Run directly from the source. What is the G Cloud command? And then it asks it, like, you can answer a lot of commands, run a lot of commands. It can also help you to like log in. It can also help you use Cloud to log in. So this is the deployment stage. Like for the deployment, then what happens is that by the time you enter the prompt, it deploys it directly for you. Like it does the whole deployment directly for you. You really will not need to do much anymore when you get to all these stages. And I can assure you that in something that you are meant to normally finish in, let's say, a month, you're able to use like a week or 2 weeks or less to even to do full-blown application from beginning to start, to creating your APIs, to designing, to even deploying. The deployment part is even the craziest, because like it's just so fast. Like you can do everything in a blink of an eye. Before somebody will blink twice, you're already done with a particular aspect of your application. But remember what I told you earlier. Is it it's efficient, it's effective, it's productive, it's fast, it's speedy and all. But is it beneficial to developers in the long run? And I don't know, like just think it through really, because as developers, the idea is that we become better problem solvers. We become faster in our crafts, better and highly skilled and knowledgeable. But when you keep using these tools, I really advise you that for every code you take, ensure that you understand what it's about. Like, ask for the explanation. Thank God that there's an explanation icon in this option there. Ask it for the explanation. Let's explain what that particular line of code is to you before you can even jump on it to even say, oh, I want to use it, I want to do this, I want to do that with that particular line. Another way again is that you can use it, and then maybe when you generate your code, you can be typing it so that it just sticks to your head, especially when you're just getting started. I just somehow feel like it's even better than using YouTube to learn. So let me assume that you're trying to learn to build a web application. And then Gemini, oh, I want to build a web application. Can you create the first code for me? Like I want to create them an e-commerce, and you create the first page for you, first file. You click on open file, it opens it in a new file, you write the name, you continue. By the time you're typing the code or even copying and pasting and looking at it, it registers in your mind, which helps you to even understand better and even faster. Because at every point, you can always click on, oh, explain this line to me, explain that line to me, do this to me, and do this, help me with this, help me with this, and help me with that. And it can help you to do all of that. So that's like it for this place. Then I want to show you how it works on VS Code. So this is how it works in VS Code. So I'll just run it. This is a test. I didn't. So here I created a transport to that, and I didn't indicate what you should add to the page. Like it's just a direct page. I just say create code for this current page. Now, because it's a transport of that, it's assuming that transport of that will be a stateless widget for people that like write Flutter. I'm basically a web developer, by the way. So it will assume that Flutter it assumes that okay, for transport, what's that name alone should be able to tell me something. What it does is that it even uses your previous information. So for instance, now let me show you something. I told you to create code for this page. This particular widget is not available in the Flutter bucket. There's no widget like this. I created this, but because it already understands like the code, like this code, remember it has access. So what it does is that it just makes use of your, so it knows that I have a bottom navigator already, and it makes use of it. You understand that okay, there's enough bar, there's that, and it makes use of it on your device. The same thing, exactly what I explained to you, the copying, the pasting, the citation, very exciting part, the citation, the fact that it cites the code for you, like this is a citation. This is a citation that shows you that okay, oh, this code was gotten from Stack Overflow. It's not my own, no. It's from Stack Overflow. And then when I copy the link and I paste and I see this, okay, somebody maybe answered the question something with this and Gemini, and they are seeing that okay, this thing is actually very correct. So it like uses it. So it cites the work that okay, this work is for somebody own. It's not my own, this and that, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. And then you can proceed. It also creates, like I said, created it as a stateless widget just because it's intelligent enough to know that for this particular page, might not need change in state. Because there was a time I also said create a code in user dots that it created as a stateful widget because he assumed that oh for that for users there might be like a lot of state changing, lots of changing of states, this and that, migration and all of that. So that's why I chose tickets for this one and stateful for that one. So depending on the project, the profile, and all of that, that it's trying to run, you can use how to get your Gemini code assist on your application is just through your extensions, like your extension. This is my own, but you can get it through your extensions and start using. You have to log in through Google Cloud, and before you can even log in through Google Cloud, if you're not using a Chrome browser, let me say your default browser is not Chrome. So when you click on the open login, it will take you to your default. Sometimes it's quite what happens, but sometimes it's false. The easiest way is just for you to copy the link. If Chrome is not your default browser or any Google supported this thing browser for now for this particular code assist tool, you can copy the link and go to your GitHub and go to your Chrome browser, enter it. It will show you sign in. You sign in and then you are in. Like it's a very very simple process. It shows you what to do. It shows you how to do it. Guides you, directs you. Like you're not lost. There's nothing like real loss in this thing as you move. Really, so Gemini Code Assist is very efficient. It helps us with efficiency, with the productivity, with speed, with like it's beautiful. It's almost too true to be new because too good to be true because it's free. Unlike GitHub Pilot that is even paid for, it's free. This one is free, and you can use it as many times, every time, anyhow that you want and that you choose. But like, I'll just still drop that question before I even go off this because I think my time is up. Before I go up of this call, and before I go back to the screen to my this thing, remember the question that dropped in when I started. How helpful it is for developers. As much as you use this AI tools, ensure that you're also learning, you're growing, you're not just verbatim, you're learning every line of code that you pick from it. Understand it. So you're not left behind by just finishing up a task. So if you didn't get the link, please get this link. Try and go through this code lab by yourself. Run it, work on it, scan the link, and play around with code. Google Cloud. Sorry, Google Code, Gemini Code Assist, and any part of it that maybe if you notice something that needs to be improved, you can also throw in a bug. Not really a bug. You can throw in an issue. That so I think this can be added. This and this, that and that. You can also trade to me. Trade. You can trade to the Google to the it's open source community. That's like you can go online and Google Gemini code as how to contribute, how to make suggestions. You can do all of that. So it's so exciting. Come up with new innovations on how to improve it and use it as much as you can as well. That is what technology is about. Technology is about improving our lives, first of all, improving us as developers and as techies, and even improving the world. So for every tool that makes life easier for every one of us, we are open arms and openly and excitedly accepting these tools and this means of communication, this means of growth for everybody. So it's been really exciting. Like I've enjoyed this session, and I really hope that everybody that has been listening to me has gained something. You can try it out. You can probably try the code lab session, and you can also try everything out really. Yes, so thank you. I think I've come to the end of this session. Thank you so much. Try Google Gemini Code Assist today and enjoy speed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Believe this has been an amazing session. Winner, I don't know if there are any questions from the audience.